Grounded has many secrets to uncover that you could easily miss or may be hard to find. In this video, I'm going to show you where to find all the secret keys and the chests that can be opened with them. The first secret key you're going to be locating is the one for the sunken treasure chest, which is down by the koi pond lab. So I am in the koi pond. It is right here on the map if you're not familiar. There's the oak tree. What you're going to be looking for is this pink juice box over here. If you follow the lily pads out to this lily pad, you're going to notice there's going to be bubbles coming up in just a second. Following those bubbles straight down is going to take you to the entrance to where the chest and the lab are located. When going down there, I'm going to recommend having, at the very least, gill tubes, which you can get once you go into the koi pond. You should be able to get them. If you can get fin flops, that would be helpful as well. You're going to also probably want to get the bubble helmet in order to get the key, because the key is in a pretty well-hidden tunnel. It's pretty deep. You can do it without these things if you're able to just kill the diving bell spiders. For that, I would recommend having the bone dagger. You're also going to want to make sure you have a slime lantern so that you can actually make it all the way down. So what we're going to do is we're going to swim straight down. I'm going to pull the slime lantern out just so you can see. As you're going down here, if you see the bubbles coming up, make sure you hit the bubbles because the bubbles will refill your air. You're going to notice I have quite a bit of air right now because I'm wearing the bubble helmet. If you're using just the gill tubes, it's going to be far less. But if you get these air here, you should be fine. So we're just going to be swimming straight past the T-Rex. We're not worried about that right now. And we will actually be seeing the treasure chest is going to be down here right near this root right here. So it's going to be right there in front of the root. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to go straight back, and we want to go all the way back here, taking the jets. First time you come back here, make sure you take these jets because it's going to help you get back here to get into the lab so you can replenish your air. Like I said, you can also replenish your air by killing the diving bell spiders. If you don't have the greatest armor, that's going to be pretty tough. So I'd recommend just trying to get back here and getting your air filled up. So what we're going to do is go back in here into the lab just to, like I said, replenish our air. Then we're going to go straight down into that tunnel to get into the secret tunnel to get the sunken treasure chest key. So we'll hit the biometric scanner here. This key is extremely hard to find, and honestly, I think it would be, it'd be very hard to stumble upon. You'd have to be going out of your way to look for it. So we're going to go up here and replenish our air, and our air is full. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going back down. We're going to get our slime lantern out again. Now in this tunnel, there's going to be a bunch of diving bell spiders. I'm in a custom game mode where they're not going to attack me just to make it easier to record this. They will probably try to attack you, so you're either going to have to fight them or just swim past them. So what we're looking for here is this little bubble jet thing here. You don't want to get hit by that because it's going to push you away. Underneath of that is going to be this little secret tunnel, which, as you can see, is very well hidden. We're going to head back here, and deep down in here, we're going to end up finding ourselves, along with these diving bell spiders, I think there's about 4 of them, is going to be the key to the sunken treasure chest. So we're just going to keep heading on back down here. There is some air back here. Like I said, you can probably do this without the bubble helmet, because if you kill the diving bell spiders, it will fully replenish your air. And also, if you hit the air bubbles here, it will too. So we got ourselves the Mossy key. So now we're going to swim back out, and we are going to go back to the treasure chest and open it up to show you what it looks like, or show you what's inside of it. So we're going to open this up with the Mossy key, and we're going to see that we have a Mega Milk Molar inside of here, as well as the Sunken Outpost chip. So what you're going to want to do with that is return it to Burgle, and let's go unlock the recipes for the Splatburst, the Finflops Plus, and the Dive Lantern Plus. The Finflops Plus and Dive Lantern Plus will become very helpful, especially when you're exploring the koi pond, getting the resources down here, as well as in some later areas where being underwater for long periods of time, it can be helpful just to be able to swim faster and have more air. The second secret key we're going to be locating today is going to be the Minotaur key, which is for the Minotaur Maze chest. We are over here on the western side of the map, just south of the picnic table, which is this square. We are looking for the exposed pipe. The only thing you're going to need when you go inside of here is a tier 2 dagger. You can bring something to help you breathe, like either gill tubes or the bubble helmet, but it shouldn't be necessary. You're also going to need at least a brat burst to get on top of the picnic table, unless you want to build up there, which is going to take much longer. So I'd recommend bringing one of those. So let's head on to this exposed pipe. There's no enemies down here. We just need the dagger to chop the soggy roots. So we're going to go down here through this hole, and you should have plenty of time. You have 40 seconds, and we're only swimming back here to these soggy roots, and we're going to start chopping them. Then we're going to grab the key and head back out. So as you can see, we can grab it. So we got the Minotaur Maze key. We're going to head back out. And then we're going to head over to the picnic table so that we can get on top of that, because that's where we're going to be using the key. Now, of course, you're probably going to want to have some decent gear because there are lots of bees up on top of the picnic table. So I wouldn't recommend going up there with no armor like I am. I'm just doing this to make this video as efficient as possible. So we're heading over here, and what we're looking for is the shovel. So if you haven't done this before, what you're going to have to do is blow up the rock behind this leaning shovel. And that's going to let us get on top of the picnic table. So we're going to throw our brat burst down there. And there we go. Oh, you're also going to need a tier 2 hammer. So we'll craft one of those when we get up top. You're going to need a tier 2 hammer. So you're going to need the insect hammer in order to get on top of the picnic table to use the key. So we're just going to head up this cleaning shovel here. Head over here past the lunchbox that's over here. And then we're going to be heading across one of the underneath here. So these bees that you can see up here, normally there's 1 or 2 bees here and they're going to end up attacking you. They will hit you pretty hard if you do not have decent armor or if you don't block. So I'd recommend bringing a bow when you're fighting them. That's the easiest way. You can also kind of use this spoon to your advantage because usually they cannot hit you through the spoon. Sometimes the animation hits you through the spoon, but it doesn't usually happen. So next we're going to head up this nail right here. And we're going to head up here. We're going to head up these books here, and you're going to need the insect hammer or the tier 3 hammer, which you probably won't have at this time, but you should have the insect hammer. You're going to bonk this little thing here. It's going to lower down the arms for the handle for this cooler. We're going to head over here to the Minotaur maze. There's black ants up here, the black worker ants, but they don't typically bother you, so we don't need to worry about them. What we're worried about is getting into the maze. There's also bees in here, so if there's bees in here, you're going to make sure you take care of them before you end up fighting. So we're just going to make a left-hand turn here. Go back into this maze. And back past here. This is where you unlock coup de grace level 2. So we're going to use the key to open up the Minotaur maze chest. Inside, we're going to see we not only... And now, getting in here can be a little tricky, so we're going to crouch down to get in here. There's a Mega Milk Molar, a bunch of upgrade rocks. We got a scab. Of course, the Picnic Burgle Chip. So grab all this stuff while you're up here. The Picnic Burgle Chip, what that's going to unlock is the food set, the food stuff picture set, which is just not that important. More importantly, what it's going to unlock is the ability to craft the Mint Mace, which is a highly sought after weapon, and that has been that weapon early on in the game was just super overpowered. They have now made it where you have to get to this part to unlock it. Although by this point you may or may not be able to make it because you're going to need an oven. It's also going to unlock the Milk Molar Scab Scanner, so I would definitely recommend getting that unlocked as well because the Milk Molars are going to let you upgrade yourself. The next secret key we're going to be locating is going to be the moat key. This is down in the sandbox. And as you can see, we have a little friend here. These are the ant lions. They're all over the sandbox. They are kind of dangerous. There's 2 ways to get in the sandbox. One is coming from the picnic table. There's a zip line up there. It's going to take 12 silk rope to connect it. So if you happen to be geared up properly, you could just grab the picnic key and then come down here and grab this key as well. Now, you're also going to want to make sure you have on antlion armor. If you don't have antlion armor, fresh defense can work, but it's just not going to be as protective as the antlion armor, as you're going to see where there's going to be a sizzle effect. The only other thing you're going to need is going to need the black ant shovel. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading over to where the shovel is, and as you can see, the sizzle bar is going to start coming on. Now, if I didn't have the armor on, that sizzle bar would fill up really quickly. The way to have the sizzle go down is to just go into the shade. And what we're looking for here is the key that's going to be behind the shovel. Now, I know where it is. I've marked it right here. If you come over here at 3:30 p.m., which would be 15:30 on game time, and just look at where the shadow is from the handle right here. So you're going to see this handle shadow is slowly moving over here. It will actually point exactly in the spot. You don't have to wait till then to dig it up, but it's going to point exactly to the spot, so to make it easy. And you will find that inside the sandbox outpost, but you're not going to be able to get into the sandbox outpost until you beat the Black Ant Lab. So here we go. We're going to be digging up this key. Then we're going to be heading over to the moat. So this is the melted moat key. That's what it's called. So we're going to be heading over here to the moat to grab ourselves the treasure chest and what's inside of it. So we're just going to head back here, and we're just looking for the chest that's back here. So we're just going to open up this chest, and we're going to see there is a regular milk molar and also the waterlogged recipe. This is going to allow you to craft the Salt Morningstar. The next secret key we're going to be looking for is the sticky key. This one is the most well hidden in the game. In fact, there's a good chance that you probably never find it if you didn't know where to look for it. We're in the upper right part of the backyard near the lawnmower. What we're going to be doing is looking for the front of the lawnmower. So if you're facing the lawnmower, the front side's over this way where I'm looking. You'll be looking for the front tire that'll be on your right. It's leaning up against a cinder block. That's where we're going to be heading. You're going to need a dandelion tuft in case you fall. You're also going to need to have a black ant shovel to get the key. And then last but not least, you're going to want to make sure you have decent gear because there's tiger mosquitoes on the way up. And there's also lots of dangerous enemies down here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping to this leaf right over here. And then we're going to be heading over to the tire. So we're going to walk up to this blade of grass and then just jump over and up on top. Now we're heading over to the cinder block. We're going to be coming over here. There's rust up here as well. We're going to go over here to the lip. And we are going to jump up onto this little part that's sticking out so we can jump up top. And then we're going to be heading up to the top. There's a couple tiger mosquitoes up here, which will 100% aggro you if you get near them. I have it on a custom game mode, so they're not aggroing me. You're going to head over here with the left handle, up the leaf, and we're just going to be walking up here to get on top of the ladder. Now, what I would recommend is, as we're walking up here, to basically just search every nook and cranny in this game because you never know where they're going to hide something. There's so many well-hidden secrets that most players would never find if they didn't go looking for them or go looking for a video on how to find them. just to uncover everything, find all the notes, find all the secrets, all these secret keys and stuff like this. There's a good chance that a lot of players would not find these. So we're going to head up here to the ladder, and then we are going to jump off and then head over here to the left. You can actually go down further and head across the hinge, but what we're trying to do is go down here. Okay, so we finally made it down to the end of the ladder, and what we're going to be doing is jumping over to these vines that are on this brick wall. And this is by far going to be the hardest part. Getting up here was not that bad, but there's a couple jumps here that are tricky. I've already fallen once while recording this, so like I said, make sure you have a dandelion tuft because there's just some jumps that are super tricky. Specifically this one with the leaf. This is the one where I fell the last time, so we're going to come over here. You basically just have to jump up and around. And I almost missed it there. And we made it. Okay, I almost fell there. It's very easy to fall off on these branches just because they are these vines, just because they're round and you can just slide right off. So if you're going to get up here, hug the wall. It's going to make you jump a little bit and jump again. You can actually make it up here without getting onto the leaves. You can go on the leaves, and it's just going to be over here underneath of the gum. Got some mints up here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig this thing open and get ourselves the sticky key, and then we're going to take it down to open up the chest, show you where the chest is, and show you what's inside. Okay, so you can make your way back down the same way you came up, or if you have the glider like I suggested, we can just glide down to the ladder. That's going to be the easiest bet. And what we're going to be doing is heading over to the tire. So I'm going to skip ahead so you don't have to watch me walk all the way back. I'll show you on the map where we are located, though, when we get there. Okay, so we made it over to the tire. The tire is located pretty much directly in the center of the yard up here, straight up from the koi pond. It's this big circular region. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow down inside of here. Inside of here is where we're going to find the chest that we open up. There are spiny water fleas in here, and they do pack a pretty good punch. So I would recommend bringing something to deal with them, either a dagger or more preferably a spear, because I believe they're weak to spears. And as you can see, they're right there. There's a bunch of them down here. There's also some upgrade stones down here. So we're going to use the key over here to open up the chest. Inside, we opened up the wrong side. Cool, the chest works on the other side. There's 2 milk molars in here. We're going to grab those. And we're also going to grab the waterlogged recipe. This is similar to the recipe for the waterlogged recipe for the Salt Morningstar. In this case, however, it opens up the bomb arrows. The bomb arrows are explosive arrows. They do severe damage. Very useful. So that's how to get the sticky key. Now to get out of here, what you're going to be doing is heading over here. So the direction that the chest open up to, you can basically just parkour your way up these leaves and get on out of here. If you found this video helpful, then you'll definitely want to check out this video where I show you where to find all the secret accessory badges in Grounded.